episode 347, I will be talking about New Japan Pro Wrestling New Year Dash 2023 and tonight's episode of Impact Wrestling right here, right now, 360 Wrestling Fanatic. Hello, wrestling fans. Welcome to a new episode of 360 Wrestling Fanatic. I am your host, Lance Brock. Thank you for tuning in wherever you are listening. Spreaker, the main website, or anywhere you can listen to podcasts. Let's get started right into it. The annual tradition, the day after Wrestle Kingdom at the Tokyo Dome, is New Year Dash. And this was actually a free show on NJPW World. So hopefully, since this was a very good show, maybe gained some new subscribers for NJPW World. I was subscribed, but then I admit, I canceled it, but then I renewed, and hopefully will get bigger and better for New Japan in 2023. And we start things off, the commentators, once again, Kevin Kelly, Chris Charlton, and Gino Gambino. And we have the newest faction here in New Japan, just 4 guys, although it's only 3 of them in this match. Evil, Dick Togo, and Yujiro Takahashi taking on Ren Narita, Tiger Mask, and Homa. And in this one, just 4 guys get the win in this one to kick off New Year Dash. Good opener here. And then next up we had Taichi Doko and Kanemaru defeat the team of Will Ospreay, TJP, and Akira. TMDK defeats the IWGP World Tag Team Champions Yoshihashi and Hiroki Goto as they team up with Tomohiro Ishii. Our next match, Shota Umino, Taguchi Makabe, and Yo defeat Bushi, Naito, Hiromu Takahashi, and Sanada. Master Wato, Hikulelu, Hiroshi Tanahashi, and Tama Tonga defeat the former IWGP World Champion, Switchblade Jay White, Kenta, El Phantasmo, and Ishimori, Shingo Takagi defeat Great Khan, Sho, and Toru Yano in a King of Pro Wrestling Championship match. And in the main event of the evening, the new IWGP United States Champion Kenny Omega and the new IWGP World Heavyweight Champion Katsuchika Okada defeat Jeff Cobb and Aaron Henry, representing the United Empire. Very good match here. I thought Omega and Okada worked really well as a tag team. Really good match. And so overall, I thought it was a great card. And probably the best New Year Dash in quite a few years that I've seen. Definitely worth checking it out. Like I said, it is a free show at NJPW World, and hopefully this will convince you, if you are not subscribed to it, to get a subscription. Very good. It is 9.99 yen, and here in America, in US money, it's $7.50 a month. Definitely worth that price. And I'm not sure about other countries, but here in America, it's $7.50 US. So, very good deal for New Japan World. We got some big shows coming up. At the joint show with New Japan Pro Wrestling and Pro Wrestling Noah at Yamahama Arena. I definitely messed the name up. And I'm sure you've noticed I do say some of the names wrong. I apologize for that. And also, one of them is the day before. I've heard John Pollock talk about this on Post Wrestling, that coming up the 21st and 22nd, that weekend, got New Japan Pro Wrestling and Pro Wrestling Noah working a joint show. And then the next day, they have two separate shows, New Japan and Pro Wrestling Noah, the Great Muta final match, or final bye-bye as they call it, where the Great Muta will be teaming with Sting and Darby Allin in a trios match. Or at least I'm not sure who they'll be facing yet. I don't think it's been announced. So stay tuned for that. And that is available to order on Fight TV and the Fight app. And now it is time to talk about tonight's episode of Impact Wrestling on Access TV. And we start things off with a graphic in memory of Don West. And we start things off with Knockouts action. Deonna Purrazzo is on commentary. Taylor Wilde defeats Masha Slamovich. And then after the match, Slamovich snaps and attacks a member of Impact Security. And then after, we see one of those pre-tapes of Sami Callihan that's usually all glitchy and everything. And he once again talks about how he wants to join the design. And we go to the ring for some more action. Black Taurus with Crazy Steve in his corner. They take on Anthony Green. Taurus is victorious, and then when Green is making his way up the ramp, he is attacked by the Impact X Division champion, Trey Miguel, with the green spray paint. He spray paints Anthony Green. He spray paints green, no pun intended there. Sorry about that. And next up, making his return to Impact Wrestling, who recently signed Jonathan Gresham. He defeats Ernest R. Anthony. And then next up, we have a very emotional video package of Mickie James discussing her entire career just about end when her very first run in TNA as Alexis LeRae, and a part of the Gathering with Raven, CM Punk, and Julio De Niro back in the Wednesday night pay-per-view days at the Asylum, and then going to WWE for her first run with that angle with Trish Stratus, and then leaving WWE and getting into music where she started the whole hardcore country thing, and then meeting Magnus, marrying him, and having their children, and then the last rodeo. She's going to be facing Jordan Grace 1 week from tomorrow at Hard to Kill for the Impact Knockouts Championship. Should be a very awesome match there. If she does not win, her career is over. And then next, we get a very nice tribute to Don West, showing interviews with the current Impact roster, and also Wildcat Chris Harris, Frankie Kazarian, Gail Kim, and just a very good tribute to Don West. I'm glad that I know this was already recorded about a month or so ago, but I'm glad that they added this video to the show tonight. Definitely big part of TNA / Impact's history. Talked more about Don West last week, Friday night when he passed. If you want to hear more, listen to that episode. And I don't know if they'll put just the tribute on YouTube or anything, but if they do, I definitely recommend checking that out. And I think, I'm going to say it now, I don't know when they'll do it, but I think that they should definitely put Don West into the Impact Hall of Fame. He would be, I believe, the second non-wrestler in. I know they put Earl Hebner in the Hall of Fame, but I think he would be the second non-wrestler in. But definitely well deserving of being in the Impact Hall of Fame. And Chris Sabin defeats Matt Cardona. And next Friday at Hard to Kill, the Motor City Machine Guns will challenge Matt Cardona and Matt Cardona and Brian Myers. That was a big mistake. And for the Impact Tag Team Championships. Sorry about that. And then we see Scott D'Amore in the ring. Or no, we don't. Actually, we do, but I lost my train of thought. Sorry about that. And first we see Bully Ray make his way down the ringside. Actually, he starts to bully Tom Hannafin and Matt Raywalt, and then he gets a mic, and then he calls out Scott D'Amore, and D'Amore talks about how he told Bully Ray and Josh Alexander to stay home until Hard to Kill. And Bully Ray says he does not respect them. and he cuts a great heel promo. And D'Amore actually fires back with a great heel promo of his own, talking about how Bully Ray lost all the friends he had. Devon can't stand him anymore, and the only friend he had left, Tommy Dreamer, he put him in the hospital, and Bully picks at him some more, and then finally D'Amore loses it and decks Bully Ray, and then we see the two guys who have been backing up Bully Ray as of late. They come into the ring and they hold D'Amore, and Bully hits him with a low blow, and then gives him a pile driver, leaves Scott D'Amore laying as the show goes off the air. That was tonight's episode of Impact Wrestling. Like I said, 1 week from tomorrow, Friday the 13th, Impact Wrestling Hard to Kill on pay-per-view. Looking forward to that. Should be a great main event for the Impact World Championship. Full Metal Mayhem. Bully Ray taking on the Walking Weapon, Josh Alexander. This feud has been very good. The build-up and everything. Overdrive. I talked about this on the podcast, but Bully Ray was such a great heel that night, threatening to pile drive the wife of Josh Alexander on the floor, pretty much proving everybody right that told Josh Alexander that he cannot trust Bully Ray, showing his true colors that night. So that's Hard to Kill next week. And then after Impact Wrestling on Access TV was New Japan Pro Wrestling. And on this episode, we went back pretty far this week. Lately, it's just been at most like a month or so back. But this week, I should say, we went back all the way to 2017. And it was Wrestle Kingdom 11. Only one match this week, but it was a classic. Kenny Omega and Okada. This was from the original New Japan Pro Wrestling on Access show with Jim Ross and Josh Barnett doing commentary, which I know they weren't there live, and they were usually just doing the commentary, like recording it in studio, because when it first started, the matches were already a few months old. And great match. Definitely remember watching this one live, actually, at the time. And that's all for this episode of 360 Wrestling Fanatic. Stay tuned for tomorrow. For tomorrow morning, I should say, for Good Morning Wrestling fans. Tomorrow, gonna wrap it up the first week. And gonna be discussing just some favorite moments, maybe promotion of the year, in my opinion. Just my opinion. So hopefully nobody will get too upset. And I was thinking maybe commentary of the team, maybe moment of the year, or favorite moments of the year, I should say, tomorrow morning. And also, tomorrow night, we got Friday Night SmackDown coming up, followed by AEW Rampage and Battle of the Belts 5 on TNT. That's all coming up tomorrow night. Might have an episode of 360 Wrestling Fanatic as well, so stay tuned for that. Thank you for listening, everyone. Remember, 360 Wrestling Podcast at gmail.com if you have any questions, comments, or suggestions. Until the next episode, I am Lance, and I am a wrestling fanatic.